Hi guys, welcome to my channel Ghost of Ireland. I got a new video for you. Enjoy the new video.
The smallest evangelical cemetery in Luboka in the Czech Republic. The cemetery was founded in 1885, when it was first mentioned in writing. Joseph Sklenor and his wife requested the transfer of the land to a cemetery. This place was probably buried earlier, and a patent of tolerance from 1781 made possible the establishment of an evangelical cemetery. In May 1945, 3 soldiers were buried here, but already in December of the same year, their remains were transferred to the cemetery in Orachov near Brno to a common grave. It is a small forest cemetery with 7 graves and whose stone cemetery wall is flanked by centuries-old trees. Was repaired in 2006. With its area of 102 square meters, the cemetery is the smallest in the Czech Republic. The width of the cemetery is 8.9 meters. The length of one side is 11.4 meters and the other side is 11.9 meters. The Neotonic Cemetery is said to be one of the least frightening and scariest cemeteries in the Czech Republic, which has existed since the 14th century. Is it all just rumors or reality? Near Prague, in the small village of Neotonic, there is an inconspicuous hump at first sight. It is surrounded by several scary stories that indicate that it is a place with a high incidence of unexplained phenomena. What makes this seemingly ordinary cemetery scary? The scream of the dead. Several brave visitors describe a night visit to the notorious cemetery as one of the scariest experiences of their lives. Every cemetery has a spooky atmosphere at night. But this case is very much unique, as if you heard wails and desperate screams among the graves. There is only darkness around and a child's cry is heard in the silence. Velhartis Cemetery with a mysterious girl's face. A chilling dark story is told about a cemetery that stands in the fields near the forest in Velhartis, near Klatov in southwestern Bohemia. It includes the cemetery church of Saint Mary Magdalene from 1373, which, according to legend, witnessed a terrifying event. In the southeastern part of the Velhartis Cemetery, in the days of Great Moravia, a kind of black magic ceremony was held to revive the dead. According to legend, it was successful. Traces of released negative energy remain on the site to this day. It is said that there were several attempts at local cleansing in the past, but it was not successful. Since time immemorial, there have been spots on the label of the Church of Saint Mary Magdalene that resemble a woman's face upon closer inspection. Although the church received new plaster, the stains reappeared after a while, as if they wanted to convey something. Some locals believe the face belongs to a kidnapped savage. It is connected with a strange anti-vampire intervention from the end of the 19th century, which is mentioned in the Židor and Jihlava chronicles. One of the graves belonged to the ruthless administrator of the Židor castle estate, Alois Ulrich. He treated his subjects very cruelly during his life and did not allow them peace even after his death in 1817, so the locals called the executioner of Jihlava, who ordered the grave to be opened. To the amazement of all in it, our body that bore no signs of decay. The executioner addressed Ulrich by name and he opened his eyes and slowly sat up. The deceased laughed at the priest's incantation, so the executioner cut off his head from his body and had it covered with quicklime. From then on there was peace in the area. However, the question remains as to how it is possible that the dead man lived on even after his death. Some occultists attribute this to the extraordinary architectural concept of the cemetery building, which is based on the ground plan of a triangle, the symbol of the greatest Trinity. The wooden cemetery Church of the Virgin Mary in Brumov is the oldest here in the Czech Republic. The cemetery in Brumov attracts visitors with a unique preserved monument of folk architecture. The wooden cemetery Church of the Virgin Mary. It is the oldest wooden church in our country and also one of the oldest wooden church buildings in Central Europe. According to the data of the Brumovsky Monastery, it was founded in 1177 by an Austrian noblewoman who was baptized at that place. The noblewoman donated a pearl tiara to the church, which is still kept in the Brumovsky Museum. The first official mention in literature comes from the end of the 14th century. Later the church would be burned down by the Hussites. In 1450, it saw the restoration of today's Gothic form of the church, except for minor later interventions from this period. In 2008, the church was declared a National Cultural Monument. You will also find an executioner's block and a copy of 9 plates from the 16th century, which depict important events of the city. The old part of the cemetery is also interesting, where there are tombs of Benedictine monks who have been buried here since 1784.
Thank you for watching my video. See you later, Joe.